race to the 2020 D1NZ Championship title has been all about the young guns taking it to the Drift Kings. Tokoroa's Taylor James in the Roundwood NZ Nissan S14 Sylvia, the man to beat at the halfway mark of the season. His rival, Northland's Liam Burke, in his 2JZ-powered Kiesel S13. While these drivers have battled before in the Pro Sport Development Series, it was Taylor James's time to shine in his first ever season in the Pro Championship, scoring his first ever victory at round 3 in Tauranga. While Taylor had propelled himself to the top of the leaderboard, there was still 2 rounds of competition to go. The drifting protege from Whangarei eyeing up the challenge. The penultimate round of the series brought us indoors at Auckland's ASB Showgrounds, with defending champion Darren Kelly making a return to the series in his heart of racing Nissan GTR, splitting the points race with pole position in qualifying. Taylor James, though, was out to extend his championship lead, but a crash in the first half of qualifying would only get him 10th on the grid. And as the night progressed, it was the flame-spitting Mimico S14 of Dave Steedman taking victory in the battle for third. While the Central Drift team grabbed a handful of points in 4th place, it was a hungry Liam Burke pedalling into the finals, a 4th place in qualifying giving him a competitive advantage in the points race. The man to beat on the night, though, was a hard-charging Ben Jenkins, piloting a borrowed car into the finals. The Green Room SR20-powered S13 was bringing close proximity chases, Ben Jenkins pushing Liam Burke into a sudden death matchup for the final spot on the podium, but it was 2JZ Power victorious at the gauntlet.
Round 4 of the Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series. Up on the car, put your hands together.
While it is his second season in the Pro Series, it was a first-time win on the 265 semi-slicks for the former Development Series winner, and with both Liam Burke and Taylor James grabbing their first ever round victories, the championship fight was cranked up to full throttle. After 4 events, it was Taylor James with a small advantage over Liam Burke, former champion Cole Armstrong in the mix from Thompson and Dave Steedman, and with 100 points on offer for a round win and another 14 available in qualifying, the margins are only getting tighter as we head into the final round of the year at Pukekohe Park Raceway, one of the fastest competitive drifting circuits in the world. Who will be the next New Zealand Drift King? This is the 2020 Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series.
And we have arrived at the grand finale, live from Pukekohe Park Raceway here on Sky Sport, the home of motorsport. It is the showdown to find out who will be champion of the Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship. Stephen McIver and commentator Steve Daniels in the house for this one, along with young Kenny up top and all the crew. Very excited about this one. It is Taylor James' championship to lose, I would say.
Well, he's leading from the front. He's had a fantastic season. Can he do it, Pukekohe Park, at 200 kilometres an hour?
He's qualified P4. Now, the big talking point, we're going to talk to him shortly, Whangarei, not really in the hunt, but qualifies at his favourite track in P1.
Well, Whangarei, he's out there to win. If he can't take the championship, he's going to take the round, and if he's got to take a person who possibly will win a championship along the way, Whangarei will do it.
We need to talk about flies in the ointment. One fly in the ointment, 4-time D1NZ champion Gaz Wider is in the house, qualifies P2.
Gaz Wider's had the, we haven't seen him for a couple of years. He's back, the 4-times champion, and he's a drift king for a reason, because he knows how to put it on the pavement here and chuck it out sideways. He's got a brand new car, a new Nissan S15, and he is flying out there.
Drifting is a sideways evolution from traditional motorsports. Each driver competes for points given out by a select panel of judges. The 3 major scoring criteria are line, angle and style. Together, they form a score out of 100. Line is a racing line marked out by clipping zones. Drivers need to consistently hit these areas to score maximum points. Angle is how much rear slip angle a car produces. Drivers need to engage and maintain as much opposite steering lock as possible to receive a higher score. Style is a combination of fluidity, impact and commitment. Points are scored for the use of speed, momentum and throttle control to attack the scoring areas. Using as little handbrake as possible, competitors need to find the balance between smooth, aggressive movement while pushing the limits of their driving abilities and the confidence in their vehicle. Teams and drivers have 2 laps in qualifying to start the competition. From here, they move into tandem eliminations, where the top qualifiers form a seeded battle tree. A drift battle requires each driver to take turns leading and chasing. The lead driver's objective is to match or better their performance in qualifying. The chase driver's objective is to get as close as possible to the leading car while also maintaining scoring criteria. The 2020 D1NZ season kicked off with a new lineup of judging officials. Returning as line judge is South Island drifting veteran Mark O'Hara with 35 points up for grabs. Based out of Christchurch, Mark has been drifting for over 13 years, both in grassroots and in competition. The Southern flavour continues with former D1NZ pro driver Joel Counter joining the series as angle judge for the 2020 season. Joel's seen plenty of competition over 7 years piloting in Nissan S14, as well as being crowned a 2 times Drift South Series champion. Our final judge for the weekend has been a long-time friend of pit lane and father of Liam Honour, one of the youngest ever drivers to compete in the D1NZ series. Based out of Taranaki, Ross Honour will join a team as style judge with 30 points to dish out. Ross has served as a former D1NZ judge and represented New Zealand overseas with over 20 years experience developing and tuning drift cars around the world. And that is the judging lineup for this weekend for the 2020 Valvoline D1NZ Drifting Championship Series.
Head judge is Brendan Dunker, joins me right now. So let's just quickly talk about what are you guys looking for on this special track?
Right, well, Pukekohe is a unique track just because it's got such a fast entry speed. These guys need to be going over 100 kilometres, 180 kilometres an hour into here. So you'll often see speeds of 195, 200 kilometres an hour here. Coming into the sweeper, these guys need to be on the outside of the track, and this is critical. They run a really, really wide line here as they come in. The sweeper, this first corner on this track, is worth almost 50% of the points here for the whole judge section. Wow. Now, if they suck too far to the inside, they end up with a faster line, they can't be chased, they'll get heavily marked down. And you're going to see that reflect on the judges' scores today.
All right, let's talk about track conditions. How will it affect them today? Because we've had a little shower, not much of one, and it's cold.
It is. So what we've seen over the last couple of days is new to Pukekohe as a track surface has changed since last time we were here. Guys have been fighting with having too much traction. The speeds have increased. They're not putting themselves out far enough. And we've already seen 2 cars written off here. We don't want to see any more. The weather's pretty iffy at the moment. These guys have only driven in the dry this weekend, and if it rains, it's going to completely change everything.
Oh, so just confirm, you battle in the rain?
Oh, we certainly do. We certainly do.
Oh, you gotta love D1NZ, don't you?
Well, the 2020 Valvoline D1NZ season kicked off in the South Island at Pukekohe Park with a fast-flowing drift course. This weekend, we crank it up once more as we return to Pukekohe Park Raceway, one of the fastest drifting circuits in the world. Entry speed, 200 kilometres an hour. Time now to take a look at the track layout and the scoring areas the judges will be keeping an eye on this weekend. It's a standing start down the front straight, 4th and 5th gear for most of the teams, hitting the infamous Turn 1 sweeper at around 180 to 200 kilometres an hour. There is a wild outside clipping point to start the course on the left-hand side. There's a very small window of opportunity to get the entry right here at Pukekohe. Too slow or too fast, and you can find yourself in a world of trouble with those concrete walls. It's a smooth arc and a fast switch onto the right hand side for clip 2, using lateral gripper braking to control car speed, pushing off here to fire across to the left inside clipping point at clip 3. From here it's a tight, tough and fast switch. A little bit awkward to try get this next remote inside clip on the right hand side of the course before putting the power down foot flat to the only outside zone at clip 5. Pushing through here, the traditional turn 4 at Pukekohe Park Raceway. The cars will be under full power and need to carry fluidity to the last inside clip 6 on the right hand side, pushing through to finish on the left hand side of the track for one last outer clip 7 to finish the course. This is one of the fastest competitive drifting circuits in the world, and the clipping point layout will throw up some tight scoring this weekend. Drivers will be mindful of the curbs around here as well. They can upset the car, and the painted surfaces can throw up a curveball or two when the drivers are trying to navigate the course. It's fast, it's furious, it's a hard one to tame, and it is home to the 2020 Valvoline D1NZ Drifting Championship.
Well, it's grand final time with the Valvoline D1NZ qualifying after the break.
1, 2, 3, jump!
only a tyre should smoke. Buy all your vaping needs at nzvapor.com or in store. Find your nearest location on our website. NZ Vapor, proudly made in New Zealand since 2012.
The latest range of ECUs from Link Engine Management have arrived. G4X. Logging across 250 channels, an increased sampling rate and more memory means you can capture more data more accurately. To see the new G4X range, visit linkecu.com.
Valvoline Easy Pour. No mess, no worries.
Welcome back to the D1NZ National Drifting Championship Series, brought to you by Valvoline as the cars head out on track for their warm-up lap. We're about to get set for competition here as we take a peek in the judges' box. And before we get into the top 24, let's check out highlights of the qualifying session. And Adam Davies was out in his 20B 3-rotor 180 SX, absolutely smashing it out there, but unfortunately not impressing the judges enough. His teammate though was doing a little bit better, getting up into a 13th place, I think. And this section here in qualifying was the biggest challenge of the weekend, getting that transition off the 200k entry on the sweeper.
Troy Jenkins, another to take a trip across the grass, 60.5 for 19th place. Blacking in the NZ flooring Toyota GT86 LES power plant, another to kiss the concrete. Coming out of the sweeper.
I mean, front end damage there for Kurt Blackie, and that transition was really tough for a lot of drivers. There was a lot of grip out there. The track has been resurfaced over the last couple of years, and it was a clean track after the winter rains, and these guys were certainly enjoying it. Cole Armstrong just hovering outside the top 10 in 11th place with a 75-point score as we check out the top 10. And it's Daynom Templeman in the Pace Pool's E46 BMW taking that 10th spot.
Firing through the sweeper at over 200 kilometres an hour. It's a sight to behold here at Pukekohe Park, the grand final of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. 75.5, that's the position 10, Daynom Templeman.
2JZ power to another 2JZ warrior, and this is one of the championship contenders, Liam Burke, inside the top 10 in that Kiesel S13, getting that outer transition that has been so difficult all weekend. But you just look at the speed that these cars are carrying here this weekend, as well as the amount of grip and angle. Fantastic drive from Liam Burke, position number 9 for 76. Mungie down the back straight. Is that a sign of things to come, as he looks pretty comfortable out there in that S13?
Next car to hit the track will be the FCRX7 of Jordy Cole, the Coastal Spar and Pool machine, firing through a nice clean lap for Jordy Cole. 76.5, great for 8.
Good drive there from Jordy in that twin turbocharged 1UZ powered V8 as we take a look at the man who had a huge incident in practice, stepping into another car and back out on track, back on the horse, unfazed by a huge crash during the practice session earlier on Thursday. Was it
Carl
Thursday?
Thompson, yeah, Thursday I think it was, but Carl Thompson riding off that car, stepping into another 77 points. Back with the good ride, it is none other than Zach Pohl in the RB28 powered Nissan S15.
Great drive here from Zach Pohl, washing out a little bit from that inner clip, but just getting the next 3 clipping zones through the exit of the section. 78 points on the board, good enough for position number 6.
No front clip, but a lot of determination. It's the Toyota's Galore GT86. It's Ben Jenkins behind the wheel. Of course, a borrowed car in the last round, stepping back into his pro competition car, 5th place with an 80.5 pass.
Great drive from Ben. Good to see him back in the 2JZ machine inside that top 5. And we talk about the top 5 points available on offer. There's 14 points available in the qualifying session if you get pole position, and this man was trying to get up the pointy end to get those extra points for his championship title hunt. Still leading the series heading into qualifying here at the final round. 82 points on the board for Taylor James, position number 4. How will this championship fight play out?
The heart of racing, GTR. It's Darren Kelly, a 2-times champion. He's come back to Pukekohe and firing through the end section. 85.5, good for 3rd position.
Darren Kelly was setting some pretty fast runs in the practice sessions, and one of the drivers consistently hitting over 200 kilometres an hour. Another fast driver here, Gaz Wider, the 4-time New Zealand champion, back at Pukekohe.
Mr. The King is back at D1NZ, and what a sight to behold. Gaz Wider finishing in second place, 86.5 points.
Great driving from Gaz Wider. Great to see him back in the hot seat, competing in the D1NZ, and what a place to do it here at the Valley of Kings. And speaking of Drift Kings, 2-time former champion Fanger Dan taking out the Panhead Brewery. Pole position for the weekend. That Century Batteries Ford Mustang RTR was singing.
That machine is one of the fastest around, rocking over, tilting up onto 3 wheels. Fanger Dan showing it how it's done with an 87-point pass. Fanger Dan Woolhouse, your Panhead top qualifier.
P1, you won the round back here. What is it you love about this track?
It's the speed, you know. It's been the home of drift since 2002 or 3. The adrenaline, you know, humming down this front straight. When you're in the car, it just looks like the wall goes right across in front of you, and it's a 90-degree corner almost. And you're pushing in there pretty hard, and you're just relying on your crew to have that car set up and dialed and put on. Yeah, it is amazing to feel.
What's it like having Gaz Wider back in the field?
Oh, absolutely awesome. You know, we've just had some rememberable moments of drifting battles throughout the years, and it started again yesterday in practice. You know,
old
and it's
dogs bumping heads.
Yes, yes, but we just trust each other, and we push each other harder and harder, which is what I need as well.
Just briefly, do you like the look of Taylor James to hold on here?
Yeah, you know, I want to see these young guys come up and take our places. You know, like this sport's got to keep growing, and so you know, I want to be here to support them to take over what me and Gaz have done. You know, so good luck to all the competitors this weekend, and let's make it a hell of a final.
Well, a hell of a final indeed. Round 5 of the D1NZ 2020 season. Adam Davies will take on Jaron Olive Corona. A bye run for Liam Burke, good for the championship title hunt. Dave Steedman taking on Michael Thorley. Jesse Greenslade also getting a bye run as we warm up for the top 24 and check out highlights of the last dash into the top 16 here as we fire down the front straight away for these guys. And it's Jaron Olive Corona trying to hunt down that Mimico 20B 180 SX.
Well, the little 180, the Ryco 24/7 Mimico machine of Adam Davies, absolutely screaming, but he's got a twin-turbo V12 behind him, making the outside pass evasive manoeuvre as he almost bungees, throws it down the straight. Jaron Olive Corona.
Interesting start to this day.
It was a very interesting start. Coming on that last corner on my lead on my chase was pretty scary when I seen him through the smoke, but yeah, no, it was awesome. Hey, Team DSR, they're always charging hard, so it's a really good feeling to come on top out of this battle.
Next battle of the day was last year's Pro Sport champion Michael Thorley going up against the second of the DSR machines, Dave Steedman, in the S14 Ryco 24/7 Mimico RB powered car. Bit of a mistake for Steedman as they come through the final section.
Yeah, really good angle and a really good line too from the lead car of Michael Thorley, the NZ 180 SX, grabbing the win to the top 16.
Was that a sigh of relief or a sigh of yippee?
After the mayhem we had yesterday, yeah, wicked. We were up all night sorting the flywheel, so yeah, relief. Yeah, that was good.
Michael Thorley bouncing back from mechanical dramas earlier in the weekend as we take a look at the Toyotas Galore GT86 of Troy Jenkins being hunted down by Bruce Tannock.
Bruce Tannock in the Magan Turbo Nissan S13. Big RB power plant, but a bit of a gap between himself and Jenkins.
Well, congratulations, Troy Jenkins, into the top 16. Happy with your run?
Very run. Actually wasn't that happy with that first run, but against Bruce. But no, it was really good. I felt like I put down a really good lead, and just hope to get through. I've had a real hard season this season, so it's really good to get a win. Yeah.
Cody Pullenbury, his second voyage back to the championship this season. He's got Kurt Blackie missing the front clip, trying to chase down Cody PB. Again, a slight mistake from the KVNZ flooring car, who's going to take the win. We go to the second half of the battle.
Kurt Blackie leading out on the sweeper, and Cody Pullenbury just stacking on the angle here, trying to close up on a nice close proximity chase. A bit squirmy from both of them and both of their passes.
Hey, Kurt, you're going to go again. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. over the moon. Like, a win would be good, but a one more time was just as good, you know. Was really feeling this track out, had it really dialed, and then in practice we went into the wall, snapped the knuckle and bent the rim, so the car's feeling a little bit dicey at the moment, but yeah, I'm just stoked, you know. Here at round 5, I've had the worst season there could be, you know. Round 1 was a write-off, round 2 was a write-off, round 3, you know, just all mechanical dramas, and just to be here and actually have it one more time is actually pretty cool.
Well, let's have a look at that OMT battle one more time for these two drivers. Cody PB leads up the front.
Cody Pullenbury out on that judges line, misses one of the outer clipping points, but the proximity back to Kurt Blackie through the first half of the section might go in his favour. Kurt Blackie tries to close the door at the end of the section on the first run. One more pass to go in the sudden death matchup. Fast through the sweeper here at Pukekohe Park Raceway, and these guys are battling that grip condition again up on the curbs from the pair of them as they fire through the section, but I think Cody Pullenbury has done enough to hang on the victory here.
Cody Pullenbury gets a tick from Mark O'Hara, an OMT for Joel Counter, but Ross Honor makes it Cody Pullenbury for the win. Valvoline D1NZ action, top 16 after the break.
Only a tyre should smoke. Buy all your vaping needs at nzvapor.com or in store. Find your nearest location on our website. NZ Vapor, proudly made in New Zealand since 2012.
The latest range of ECUs from Link Engine Management have arrived. G4X. Logging across 250 channels, an increased sampling rate and more memory means you can capture more data more accurately. To see the new G4X range, visit linkecu.com.
1, 2, 3, jump!
Valvoline Easy Pour. No mess, no worries.
Welcome back. It's the Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship, the grand final here at Pukekohe Park. Kenny, it's ready for top 16 action.
Yeah, well, she's pretty cold out there. It's great to see thousands of people turning out despite the cold weather and breaking out of lockdown as well. But we are warming up here for the top 16. Dan Mulhouse will take on Jaron Olive Corona. Jordy Cole will take on Liam Burke.
Taylor James goes up against Michael Thorley, and Ben Jenkins will take on Jesse Greenslade.
Gaz Wider will line up against Cody Pullenbury. Carl Thompson up against Daynom Templeman.
Darren Kelly will go up against Troy Jenkins, with Zach Pohl taking on Cole Armstrong.
That is your top 16 grid lineup as we fire into the highlights here. Fanger Dan Mulhouse, your top qualifier, leading out Jaron Olive Corona.
Jaron Olive Corona in the parts trader NZ Nissan S14 has the nose taken off him, and I think that the judges are going to rule in the favour of our leading driver, which is Fanger Dan.
Take a look at the second pass here. The bumper was off the car. I mean, Jaron Olive Corona perhaps not just giving enough room to Fanger Dan out in front to get this transition right here, but Fanger Dan keeping things nice and clean in the chase run here. Jaron Olive Corona trying to claw it back, but I don't think it's enough. Fanger Dan will move through into the top 8.
Yeah, no, just stuck to what the judges wanted. Just keep my line. Don't change anything from what I'm doing. So really happy with the way the car's going, and yeah, let's move on.
Keep pumping.
Fanger Dan, I think we had an all right battle. He obviously come out on top, but hey, I always said that I wasn't going to win, mate. I'm going to hit him, and I did.
Oh, there we go. That's fighting talk. It's the FCR X7 turn. That is Jordy Cole. He's going up against the man who's trying to take a championship. The animal, Liam Burke, in the Kiesel measure up flooring Nissan S13.
Liam Burke just hunting off the rear quarter here. Jordy Cole trying to stack on some angle through the last part of the section, but look at this from Liam Burke right there off the rear quarter. We go to the second pass as they fire into the sweeper at 190 kilometres an hour. Jordy Cole trying to stack on a bit of angle here and put on a chase run to that Kiesel S13.
Not enough for Jordy Cole in the FCRX7. The Coastal Spa and Pool can't quite do it. We'll see the Kiesel machine going through.
You know, you go and win round 4, now we're in round 5, and you're a hunt for the championship.
Yeah, that was bloody great. I love battling Jordy. He's awesome to go against. We've had plenty of battles in pro sport, and we've had a few in pro now, so yeah.
What did you say to you just a minute ago? Was he struggling to keep up?
Yeah, he just said in the chase he struggled to keep up a little bit, so I'll just review some of the footage and see what happened, but that was wicked, Steve.
Top 16 action thick and fast here at Pukekohe Park Raceway as they stack on the angle is Michael Thorley giving chase to Taylor James. Again, another championship title contender in the hunt here to get some more points and perhaps grab that all-important trophy at the end of the season, but a mistake for Thorley on the first pass, just not getting that transition right. Second pass here on the sweeper.
Well, Taylor James, he's got it easy. He's just got to put a lap together and he will take the win.
Mistake there for Thorley, putting a wheel off in the dirt. Oh, he's got it all crossed up through the transition. A little bit of lawn mowing here, and Taylor James will move through to the top 8.
Well, Taylor, there's another step towards a potential championship win. How did you feel that run went?
Yeah, the start of that, I think, is the most nervous I've ever been for a battle. But, yeah, I knew Thorley was a good driver. We've battled a lot in the past, pro sport and pro. And, yeah, so it was about time I got him one back, I think.
Eyes forward.
Yeah, cool. Thanks heaps, eh?
Taylor James on his way to the championship title fight as we take a look at big angle here from Jesse Greenslade, stacking it on again through the sweeper, but clean and consistent so far from Ben Jenkins.
Well, big mistake for Jesse further back. A lot better than his second round where he crashed the thing and almost wrote the car off as he goes through to lead it out in the second half of the battle. A nice clean run for Jesse, but it's not going to be enough with Jenkins going through to take the win into the next round.
Well, different car from round 4, but you're through to the top 8. How do you feel?
Yeah, brilliant. Happy with this car. It's going really well this weekend. So, yeah, it was a good battle with Jesse. I don't know what happened. Maybe he made a mistake behind. So I know he's been suffering with some clutch issues, which is not the greatest, but happy to be back in the seat of the Toyota's Glue 86 and see what we can do.
Gaz Wider back in action here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. Hunting him down, though, is one of the young guns in the Pro Championship. Gaz Wider leading out in that Phoenix S15, a brand new car here this weekend. V8 power out in front, leading out that 2JZ, trying to close the door as Cody Pullenburry in the first part.
PB this time comes up with a really wide line in the second half of the battle. Not scared to battle anyone as PB, but he's doing a great job up front. I don't think the judges, though, are going to be as happy as what they've seen from the 4 times Drift King.
Gaz Wider just closing the door at the end there through to the top 8.
As some say, the old dog still got it, eh?
I feel a bit rusty. That was awesome. I haven't battled for a long time, so to do that against Cody, he's wild. He's got a lot of angle, and it was just great to battle again.
Someone said to me, you must have trusted him because you got right up his date.
Oh, you have to in drifting, eh? You kind of got to let everything go and just go for it.
Talking about going for it, Carl Thompson certainly doing that. Daynom Templeman trying to tuck him behind, but a gap forming between himself and the man leading up front, Carl Thompson, in that massive V8 powered Nissan S15.
Aggressive chase run from Daynom initially, but he's fallen away through the second part, through that transition, which can be very, very awkward. It's hard to get this transition here at Bookie. You come off that turn 1 sweeper at 200k an hour, and you've got to downshift and grab the handbrake as you fire in to turns 3 and 4 here at Bookie. A wheel off from Daynom out in the lead here. Carl Thompson has seen it. He's going to try and capitalise on it and get up on that rear quarter. Carl Thompson through with the victory.
Well, big boy, you're still in the hunt for the championship. I've got to ask you straight up, how's the body feeling after that shunt yesterday?
Yeah, very sore, but obviously just got to get on with it, and it's what we're here for, you know. So.
You must have been happy that second run was sweet.
Yeah, I've been battling all weekend, eh? I just, this track's just one of those tracks, you know, like it just requires a lot of commitment, and if you're not 110% mentally in it, it can just bite, you know.
Oh, well, don't let it bite you. You're looking good.
It already has, mate.
Well, Carl Thompson certainly unafraid of sending it back on the sweeper after that crash in practice, but here's a man who's unfazed by the speed as well, setting fast runs all weekend was Darren Kelly in that Heart of Racing GTR. Look at the car space back to the chase car of Troy Jenkins in the 856. And look at the chase run here from Darren Kelly on the sweeper.
But Darren Kelly getting right up in the pocket, removes the back bumper, hanging on by a thread. Troy Jenkins, nice smooth run up front. Who is going to take the win? Look at Darren absolutely pulverising the rear end.
206 again, fastest again. Are you nuts?
No, I think we've just nailed the car setup this weekend, and it just feels really comfortable going into that speed, and I think we're on to a good setup, so try to keep it up.
Action thick and fast here. Zach Pole in the top 16 up against Cole Armstrong. Armstrong, though, just quite a few car lengths back with Zach Pole in that RB28 machine, putting the power down in that good ride. Tyres Sylvia and Cole Armstrong trying to close the door in the first run. Just not enough, though. He needs to claw some points back in this next pass.
The Valvoline V36 is doing a great job up front. He's a 2-time champion, but wow, it's hard to say who's going to take the win off this one. Here was Zach Pole doing a superb job, riding over the ripple strips, dirt turbo, but takes the win.
We'd call that the first potential upset of the weekend.
Yeah, the nerves are rolling high right now, but the car's performing well, and it's such a track. You just got to commit as hard as you can, and it's make or break, and things can go wrong so easily. But on that run, luckily, we pulled it off. So yeah.
I think you knew, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew. I've been struggling all weekend here. We haven't my own fault. I didn't really think about the car before we came to this round. After the last round, didn't really change much to it. Too much going on. I need to get my brain back into things, but hey, it's been an unreal season. Big thank you to Valvoline for backing us again for another year. Zestino, the Blink Company, and hey, on and upwards, Armstrong Plumbing and Drainage. We're going to be going hard in the off season. We'll prep this thing and hopefully be back next year, mate.
Well, two-time former champ Cole Armstrong bowing out as we take a look at the top 8, the quarterfinals. Dan Woolhouse will take on the protege again, Liam Burke. Taylor James will take on Ben Jenkins. Gaz White up against Carl Thompson. And Darren Kelly will take on Zach Pole in the battle of the RBs. The action heating up again. Top 8 time here now, and this is the repeat of the round 2 final. It is Master and Apprentice Fanga Dan taking on Liam Burke.
Well, Century Batteries, Castrol New Zealand, RTR Mustang, 2 times the champion, Fanga Dan powering out of the section, but look how close the proximity is there for Liam Burke.
Liam Burke putting on an absolutely immaculate chase run as we take a look at the second pass here from these boys, and the big V8 trying to hunt down that 2JZ out in front. Big swing, big angle from these cars. Fanga Dan just trying to monster him in the chase run. Look at the proximity though. Fanga tries to close the door. Has he done enough? Or does this go one more time from the judges? And these boys are going to go one more time, sudden death again here at Pukekohe Park Raceway.
Well, it's a grand final. It's round number 5. One man wants to win it. The other man wants to win a championship. And it's Fanga who leads up, three-wheeling as he comes through into the transition point.
Stacking on the angle is Fanga Dan, but look at this unfazed chase run from the Team 13 Kiesel. Measure up flooring S13 of Liam Burke. And I tell you what, Steve, Apprentice no more. This man is looking pretty strong so far. Fanga Dan trying to chase him down.
Well, the measure up flooring Kiesel S13 of Liam Burke. He's got all 700 horsepower of that 2JZ to the floor. Big angle. Here comes Fanga coming back. Which way are the judges going to rule?
2 out of the 3.
That was wild, Steve. I'm so sure that's the fastest I've entered this event. I'd love to know what that speed was.
Yeah, we're just trying to find out. 194.
Oh, okay, not as fast as I thought. Maybe the nerves of this guy, man. Shout out to Fanga, man. He puts on that was such a good lead. Same as the OMT before, the first run. Oh, man.
You realise now that you're starting to potentially put yourself in championship position now.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, hey, Taylor, we'll see what happens, man. So keen.
That was the best driving I think I've had in a long time, and you know, I was like, I'll give Liam, I'll make him work for it, and it was just so good. Like, I'm just blown away, and he's come so far. He didn't even come to round 1, and he's, I thought, I'm gonna give it to him. I'm not gonna let it. I'm gonna teach him a few tricks, but he got me.
Mate, he could, with the way he's going, he could win the championship.
Well, more battle action coming up after the break. Valvoline, D1NZ.
The latest range of ECUs from Link Engine Management have arrived, G4X. Logging across 250 channels, an increased sampling rate and more memory means you can capture more data more accurately. To see the new G4X range, visit linkecu.com.
Only a tyre should smoke. Buy all your vaping needs at nzvapor.com or in store. Find your nearest location on our website. NZ Vapor, proudly made in New Zealand since 2012.
1, 2, 3, jump!
Valvoline Easy Pour. No mess, no worries.
Welcome back to the Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship Round 5, the grand final, Pukekohe Park. And we are chasing championships, and the man who leads out is Taylor James in the Roundwood New Zealand Nissan S14. He is out there trying to take the championship. He's got one hand on the cup. Can he put two on there?
Great switch, great drive so far from Taylor James, leading out Ben Jenkins in that Toyota's Galore GT86. It's a 2J versus RB battle. The RB out in front, but what a chase run here from Ben Jenkins.
Second half of the battle, Ben Jenkins turned to lead in the Toyota's Galore 2JZ powered GT86. Taylor James really needs to close up and get on that proximity. Might have even put a wheel off.
Could look like almost a mistake there, and Taylor James, car lengths now being opened up here, and I think Ben Jenkins is going to take a huge upset victory.
Great run, buddy. You got this thing dialed in.
Thanks, yeah. Just every lap we seem to be getting better in this thing. Obviously had our troubles on Thursday and Friday, but no, it's pumping, it's good. There was a wicked battle with Taylor. We've had many a battle now, so hey, it might have upset the championship for him, but I'm just out here to win the round now.
Nice to see these Toyos do something.
That's it, definitely, That's definitely what we want to see. So thanks to Toyota's Galore, can't wait, top 4, bring it on.
All right, so Ben Jenkins knocks out our championship leader, but we don't really know what that means as far as the championship's concerned. Mate, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm real gut today. I guess I've done it to myself, being a good driver, and yeah, he deserved it.
Mate, we don't know the championship standings. We know ramifications. It doesn't mean you haven't won the championship or anything yet, so just hang on and hang in there, mate.
Yeah, no, we can only sit back and wait and see what happens now, but a bit gutted, but it's all good.
You'll be right, mate.
Well, Taylor James getting knocked out early in the top 8. How is this going to play out with Liam Burke moving through? Action aplenty, though, as Gaz Wider leads out a pair of V8s here, and Gaz Wider putting on a pretty good lead run here. Carl Thompson just lost in the smoke.
Something that Carl Thompson's not used to being, has been lost in other people's smoke, generally putting on the smoke show. We go to the second half of the battle between these two drivers, Carl Thompson and the 4-times Drift King, Gaz Wider.
Fast entry from the pair of these guys. These are two high horsepower machines, and Gaz Wider's got plenty of skill set under the helmet there, under the gloves, as he puts on a pretty good chase run here, and I think he's going to take the win through to the semi-finals.
Gaz, how'd you feel about that? That was a hell of a battle.
It was fun, yeah. That car is extremely fast. I'm not really used to this thing yet, but there's a lot left in it, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Oh, Final 4, first time back. You must be feeling pretty sweet.
So I got that one, did I?
Yeah, you got that. I'm talking to you first. You got that one.
Awesome.
All right, keep on keeping on. Mate, that boy can travel, but so can you, mate. How do you feel about your the weekend and the season?
I just got Gary the goated. Fun battle. I got left for dead off the line. I just my car a bit too much wheel spin, and then that was sort of all she wrote. But still happy. Got some good battles in.
Mate, it is so much fun watching you. Just keep doing it, right?
Yeah, yep. If we can, we will. You know how it is.
Last battle in the top 8, it's Darren Kelly and the Harder Racing R35 GTR going up against the Good Ride S15 of Zach Pole.
Zach Pole putting on a bit of a chase run here. It's really great switch, trying to close the door now through the last turns 3 and 4 here at Pookie, but Just maintaining a bit of a gap there was Darren Kelly as we take a look at the second pass, and sucking to the inside is Zach Poland. He's going to be marked down heavily off the judge's line. Darren Kelly unfazed though, just keeping it cool and calm in the chase and trying to get up on that rear quarter, and I think he's going to push this GDR through into the top 4.
Well done, mate. You got all 3 this time, so you did the job.
Yeah, I think Zach was just saying he made a little mistake on the entry there and sort of went straight to the inside, and they're very critical on the lead run. So I think, yeah, sort of knew we had an advantage on that one. But yeah, awesome, through the top 4.
Well, Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship top 4 time. The first battle will be Liam Burke going up against Ben Jenkins.
And Gaz Wider, the 4-time New Zealand champ, will take on a 2-time New Zealand champ, Darren Kelly. It's the Valley of Kings, it's the new school up against the Drift Kings. And we are into the top 4. Semi-final number 1, Ben Jenkins up against Liam Burke.
Well, it's the Toyota's Galore GT86 of Ben Jenkins with a great lead, with Liam Burke tucking in the measure-up point. Kiesel S13.
Liam Burke just unfazed by the smoke. A little bit of a correction there, but wow, what a chase run through the sweeper. Huge car lengths getting opened up here by Ben Jenkins leading out in that first run. What will come of the second pass?
Well, a big mistake's going to put advantage into Ben Jenkins, but he goes off.
Ben Jenkins nearly having a huge moment with the wall. He's out in the sand trap, but Liam Burke is going to ride the curbs on the exit and take a victory here in the semi-finals.
Yeah, that was wicked. Not so impressed with my lead on that one. I feel it wasn't as good as it should have been. But man, we got onto him on the chase, so that was cool. I sort of shut myself out a little bit there, and he ended up gaining a little bit of proximity, gaining on me on the second section. But nah, hats off to Ben. Wicked driver, man.
You excited?
Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. That's drifting.
Yeah, just something interesting happened there. He just seemed to have a straighten and a bobble, and it was either a hard contact into him on his mistake, or I had to go elsewhere. And I went elsewhere, no grip out on the outline. And I had a good shunt into that concrete wall, so not what I wanted.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. We'll go fix this car and get into the other battle, but I definitely want to see a replay of that one.
Well, Ben Jenkins certainly getting stuck in the semi-finals. We'll see him shortly for the battle for 3rd and 4th, but now it's Gaz Wider lining up against Darren Kelly, and Darren Kelly's had a moment.
Darren Kelly comes off, kisses the concrete in the harder racing R35 GTR.
Well, I think it's just a soft one. I think he'll be able to get back out for the second pass, but Darren Kelly certainly having a moment on the sweeper. Let's see the second pass here. A little bit of bumper damage on the front end for Darren Kelly as he takes the lead. Gaz Wider lost in the smoke.
That Phoenix Radiators Nissan S15 been flying all weekend long. He's going to know that he's just got to finish the lap and he's going to take the win, head to the final. A great job up front from the harder racing machine, but it's going to be all Gaz Wider.
Stop it. How did that feel?
Yeah, that was a bit strange. I got caught up in the smoke, couldn't see a thing. So yeah, it was a bit of a shame. I entered where I wanted to, and I should have just committed, but I might just be getting old.
Well, I don't know. Well, you got a hell of a battle for first here because you got this young Liam Burke.
Yeah, he goes good. He's a Northland boy, so yeah, something in the water or something. So it should be fun.
Just came in like committed run on the chase and just ran out of room, hit the back of Gaz and then just trying to avoid him. Trying not to take him out any further, and so I just spun myself and ended up in the wall. So feels like I got a bent front left rack end, and the rear wheel took a little bit of hit as we hit the wall. So a little bit of damage and just the front bumpers hanging off. So we're just trying to pull it back on, and then we'll get back out there and yeah.
Have a crack at Ben Jenkins. I think he's looking forward to you as well.
Yeah, should be a bit of fun now. Hopefully we can still make it onto the podium. We'll see how we go.
Well, unfazed by the contact earlier on as the pair of them, Darren Kelly and Ben Jenkins, now in the battle for 3rd and 4th, firing through that turn 1 sweeper. Such an incredible sound firing through here as we switch on through into the second half of the section, and look at this chase run from Ben Jenkins.
Ben Jenkins right on the back bumper, comes through to finish. Let's have a look at, we've got issues for the Jenkins car.
So Ben Jenkins having an axle drama in the second. Well, just at the end of the first run, so a 5-minute competition timeout called in the second pass. Unfortunately for these boys in pit lane, they tried to change the axle. They couldn't quite get it done, and unfortunately for Ben Jenkins, it was Darren Kelly taking 3rd place for the weekend.
Well, I think he's pretty circumspect about the whole thing. The smiles there, mate. can't catch a break.
Nah, it's all good. You know, we've got an amazing team. They're just trying to do what they can do. 5 minutes is a small time frame to change a big, strong axle like that. But hey, it's a shame. Still, if I think we end up in 4th, and it might be good in the championship. But yeah, hats off to my team. Obviously, they try and they do it for rounds and rounds. And just hopefully. Hopefully we can get out and maybe do a burnout, but it was a good run. That was probably my best run chasing Darren. I definitely thought I was going to run for his money in the lead run, but it's all good.
Look, Ben, I got to say, for the last 2 rounds, you've entertained us. You've entertained us at the gauntlet. You've entertained us today. Keep trucking, buddy.
That's why we do this sport, Steve. Thank you very much.
Well, 2020 comes down to one more battle. The grand final of the Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship has been going 8 months, and this will see the final. You one of the best. You've got them two abreast. Gaz Wider, the 4-time New Zealand Drift King, leads out the animal, Liam Burke.
Pair of Northland boys battling it at Pukekohe Park Raceway, a 4-time New Zealand champion, showing a thing or two to the man in behind, Liam Burke, who wants his first championship, and rides the curbs, puts a wheel off. That's going to hurt him in the points, but Gaz Wider again doing what Gaz Wider does and just setting a fantastic lead line.
Down to the launch controller, Willie, as we let them loose again for the last lap of Pukekohe for the 2020 Valvoline D1NZ season, and a bit of a contact between them as they fire it into the sweeper.
Side by side down the front straight, plucking gears there. I think there was a bit of a touch down the front straight before that even entered the section. What a run so far from the pair of them, switching through. Not a lot of bitumen left to go in the grand final. A little bit of a wheel off from Liam Burke, but has Gaz Wider done enough to take the win here at Pukekohe?
Nice cameo. You just won the final round of the Valvoline D1NZ Championships.
Oh, that was unreal. I pushed pretty hard on that one. He's really, really quick, and he's fully committed, which is what you need. We actually bumped before the entry, which was pretty wild. We got a little bit unsettled, and yeah, it was a rush.
Okay, I got one final question, because we're pushing time here. Come back and play for a full season, would you?
I would love to. I've got a busy schedule ahead of me. We've got to build a house, so I love drifting. I love everything about it, and it's just such a rush, and it just keeps bringing us back, so yeah.
Gary the Goat just said, you are one hell of a driver. Nice compliment.
Oh, and he is too. A quote that he's always said, I've seen recently, was, it's just like riding a push bike for him. Every time you get back on, you just remember, and he remembers every time. He comes out, he wins everything. It's honestly one of New Zealand's best drivers.
Well, Gaz Wider has taken the victory here at Pukekohe Park Raceway. Liam Burke in second, Darren Kelly taking that 3rd spot. Round victory to Gaz Wider, but has Liam Burke done enough here with a 2nd place on the podium to take that 2020 championship title?
And there we go with 368 points. Liam Burke takes the 2020 Drift King honours. Taylor James comes through in 2nd place, with Carl Thompson finishing in 3rd, Guinea.
Yeah, an amazing year. Liam Burke, congratulations. You've taken out the championship.
Your champion in 2020, Liam Burke.
There he goes, your 2020 New Zealand D1NZ Drift King. We've got Darren Kelly, last year's champion, who will hand over the championship honours as he makes his way to the top spot and hoists the cup aloft. It is Liam Burke who takes the win.
What a drive from Liam Burke all year. He missed the first round, but managed to put in a hard charge all season to get to that top spot. Taylor James in 2nd, and Carl Thompson bumping up into 3rd. What a victory burnout here from Liam Burke. And Steve, what a hell of a season.
What a season. We've been to 2 different islands, 5 different racetracks, and we have found ourselves a Drift King. It's been full of COVID-19, everything in between, but we've seen the best drifting in New Zealand.
Champagne showers for the boys, and it's 2J Z-Power on top after a long dry spell for the 2J boys. Champagne in the cup. We thank you for tuning in all season and coming to the racetracks all year. We hope you have enjoyed the show. Liam Burke taking out the championship title for 2020.
Valvoline D1NZ National Drifting Championship will see you in 2021.
Valvoline Valvoline Easy Pour. No mess, no worries.